Okay, so it's not broke, so we don't have to panic anymore. So I am here. I'm Master Bella. I'm here with Jean. Is that how you say it? Jean? Oh, you say it Jean.
It would be Jean.
Jean. Jean's much sexier. I like
Yeah,
that.
we sound
Jean.
fancy.
We're in Baltimore, Maryland, at our home. We've been blessed to have this guy here come over and sit and chat with us. Your name is Jean. That's one way you introduce yourself. What are your pronouns?
Our pronouns are he and him.
He and him. You have other names that you go by. Would you like to share those?
Yes, one of my names is Majin ONYX because I am a member of ONYX Mid-Atlantic chapter. And another one would be Pup Blizzwolf, which is my pup name.
Awesome. So you want to tell us a little bit about ONYX?
Sure. ONYX is a fraternity for gay and bisexual men of color. It started out in Chicago, and we currently just celebrated the 22nd anniversary last year, which was held in Louisiana.
Ooh, yay!
Yes, that was very fun. We learned there was alcohol on every street corner.
Oh yeah.
But it is we also have a sister organization, which is the ONYX Pearls for women of color. And what we mainly do are give a space for men of color, whether you be Black, Latino, or Asian, to have a safe space to explore your kink self. And our motto is educate, explore, and empower.
That's awesome. Y'all are everywhere right now.
Yes, we currently have, I believe it's 10 chapters. We have the Northeast, which is situated in New York, Mid-Atlantic, which is mainly centered around the DC area. We have the Southeast, which is situated mainly in Atlanta, Deep South in Florida, Lone Star, which is situated in Texas, Midwest in Chicago, Great Lakes, which encompasses 3 different places. I know one of them is Detroit. We also have Northwest, which is currently serving the Los Angeles area, as well as Southwest, which is doing San Diego.
Cool.
Yeah, that's 9.
There you go. That's huge. You can't get on social media right now, anywhere, without, just seeing all the great stuff y'all are doing. The pictures are kind of hot too. I think we all look for those ONYX pictures as they roll down. So, how long have you been with the ONYX?
I pledged in December of 2016, ended up crossing over in April of 2017, and then I ended up becoming the assistant pledge master for the next group, which had crossed over back in April as well.
Wow.
So I've been about a year and a half, so.
You having fun with it?
It's very much fun.
That's cool. That's good. So does your name have any significance behind it?
Yes. I was named by my big brother at the time, Theo Storm ONYX. And my name comes from an anime, Dragon Ball Z, which one of the main characters is named Majin Buu.
Oh, that's awesome.
So he named me that because he felt that I encompassed all the qualities of Majin Buu, which were, one of them is that he is a troll. He loves to mess and play with people all the time. He also goes through a lot of evolutions and adapts. He absorbs people, and then from there he changes from that. So it's kind of with me where I learn from others and I add it to my repertoire of kinks as well. He's also a big lover of chocolate and candy, which is the same with me.
That's awesome. He did good.
Yes.
Named you well.
As soon as he said the name, I told him I don't need an explanation behind this. I already know why I got
this. You loved
this.
it, didn't you?
I loved it.
So we talked about your pup name. Tell us what that is again.
Pup Blizzwolf.
So tell me about who you are as a pup.
I am a very energetic pup. I will be very playful, knock you over, tackle, scratch you up a little bit, bite you, nibble, as well as lick you in the face. Pretty much how a very energetic husky acts, pretty much. And that is actually my breed. I say that I am a husky golden retriever, Labrador retriever mix.
So how long have you been embracing your pup side?
I have embraced it since I was 22, and I am 26 now.
So it's been a while. So we're new to Baltimore. I think we talked about that a little bit. So where do you hang out around here? I mean, as far as, who you are, like being with the ONYX and being a pup and all these things. Mm-hmm. Tell me about the things you do in the community.
At the current moment, I go to events, support I am, because I'm an introvert, so it's kind of hard to be able to be out with others and such. So I'm currently doing that, and I'm planning to start branching out, maybe doing events on my own. It's just pretty much a slow building process from that.
Sometimes that's the best way to do it, though. You kind of you slowly get in it and you see what you like. Well, first you can do these little things in process. Did I like this? Did I not? You know, so that's not necessarily a bad thing, taking your time.
Slow and steady wins the race.
That's what I'm talking about. So, so how often, or what was the most recent thing you got out and made yourself do?
I have to think about that for a little while. Well, I actually ended up doming someone.
Ooh,
Yes.
that sounds like fun.
I situate myself as a submissive switch. And while I actually do some, I mainly sub, but there are some things I do dom in. So one of these was actually that I put on I did a demo in public.
Oh, that's exciting.
Yes.
So where do you get to do those?
Anywhere really, but this one happened back in May for DC Leather Pride, where I did a demo using these claws, as well as a body massager and biting on one of our associate members who lives actually up here in Baltimore. So shout out to Scorpius, thank you for that.
That's awesome. So did you enjoy that event that you
That
went
was
to?
very much enjoyment.
So let's talk a little bit about you, aside from all this beautiful leather that you have going on right here. You said you're 26?
Yes.
You're 26 years old, and you've been in Baltimore a long time, I think you said.
I've visited about 3 years since I've been visiting on and off in Baltimore. Mainly live in DC area, so that's just where I'm stuck at.
Yeah, stuck at. Bless you. Where do you want to be?
I'm actually fine living in the DMV area.
Yeah.
It's what I'm used to, so
Yeah.
I don't feel like branching out, and I need my mumbo sauce, so I kind of have to stay here.
So what are some of the things that you like? What so like when we talk to people, like this is the biggest geek you've ever met in your life. Okay.
Hi.
Yeah, super geek right here. So in our everyday life, there's every kind of electronic, there's gaming, there's all that. Tell me about you. You know, who are you every day?
I am a big horror fanatic. Anything that deals with blood, guts, sci-fi creatures, anything like that, fantasy, I love it very much. I'm also somewhat into the supernatural as well, to the point where I'm pretty sure my house is haunted.
Oh, tell us about that.
There's been a lot of incidents that have gone on in that house ever since we lived there, to the point where everyone is pretty much convinced that the house is haunted, and we just deal with it on a day-to-day basis.
Wow.
It's actually to the point where now my house creeps me out at night.
That's a little weird. See, I would love that stuff though. I'd be laying awake trying to hear it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I say that, but if I had to sleep
You
there every night,
say
it
that
might-
until an incident happens in the night where you feel someone breathing on the back of your neck, and you just don't turn over in bed.
Oh, bless. I don't know. It depends on what comes after that breathing.
Sounds hot.
I know. I'm sitting here going, wait a
At the
minute. I
age
can
of 16, when you know you're in your attic room alone, no,
Ooh.
that's not.
No, that's scary,
No.
isn't it? So, are you in a relationship?
Yes, I'm currently in an open relationship. He currently lives in Chicago, and he is looking into moving down here.
Well, that's exciting. So, more to the DC area where you are? Is that what's
Pretty much.
going on with that? For you personally, when you came into leather, how long ago did you come into leather?
So physically came to the community, that's about 4 years ago when I was 22. I was aware that I was into BDSM at the age of 16, and that is mainly due to the fact that my parents actually didn't give me the sex talk, and I'm a millennial and I had the access to the internet. So I decided to just go on a whole binge of watching videos. At some point I ended up stumbling upon a porn which featured putt play, which evolved into bestiality. The putt play interested me, the bestiality not so much, but from there it just spiraled into a full-on research of BDSM and all that entailed with it.
So that's the venue that you came into, like most of us. That
Pretty
damn
much.
internet.
You fall into the dark corner of the internet.
Exactly. So where did you reach out? I mean, you go onto the internet and you see that at your age. Where do you go from there? I mean, were you going to clubs or anything? Were you going to the bars? I mean, what was your outlet?
So at the time, I didn't really go out to bars. I was waiting until I was 21 so I could be able to drink. I had made plans to go to the DC Eagle, but by the time I reached 21, it had closed its location at the New York Avenue. So then I ended up going to Green Lantern as my first gay bar. And that was a fun little experience because I got drunk that first night and ended up doing a somewhat funny walk home.
Oh.
It wasn't a full walk home, but it was to the point where I just reached a good halfway point to the next bus stop. It was cute. But from there, I eventually ended up going to DC Eagle when it reopened at its new location on the Minnesota Avenue. And then I pretty much just stuck between DC Eagle and Green Lantern as my two main bars.
Yeah. So are you out to your family?
Yes, my family knows that I'm gay.
Do they know about your leather?
It's an interesting in between because a couple of years when I was about 23, I did have a collar, and it was to the point where I mainly walked around shirtless, so you see the collar. No questions were really asked, but it reached a point where I was told to put a shirt on.
Oh.
Yes.
And
so it's pretty much you're aware of it, but we're not going to talk about it, and we're not going to really ask questions as far as it.
Right. So, how long have you been out to your family as far as being gay?
That was pretty much since I was... So, my sisters told me that they knew that I was gay since I was like 4 or 5. I didn't actually physically come... So I had a weird coming out experience where I say that I came out on 3 separate occasions. The first time was when I was 13. This was back when gay.com actually had the 13 to 17 portion.
Right.
And I had left the chat room open while I went to use the bathroom. I come back and find my dad on the computer.
Oh, no.
So that led to a whole experience of, okay, we're just gonna go into super denial mode of this never happened, and I was just curious.
Right.
Next up was when I was about 16 or 17, and then that just led to a whole conversation because my sister had come out. She had a come out experience, and hers was bad, but that was mainly because of how my parents didn't technically get along with her, not because she was gay, but because of her attitude as far as it.
Right.
So she kind of tried to force me to come out at that point, saying that if I have anything I want to say, do it now. And I'm like, I don't like the fact that you're trying to force this out of me right now. And that ended up leading to a conversation with my mother later on in my room of that, and I just didn't. I told her I wasn't ready, and I told her basically that yes, I was gay, but she started crying, and I was just at the point of, this isn't about you. I don't need your tears right now, and I kind of want you out of my room.
Right.
And the third time was basically came out to my father, and he actually went to my sisters and talked about it. This was before I even knew that they were aware, so he pretty much, I was sitting in the next room, and I hear him having a conversation with my sister as far as me being gay and whatnot. I'm like, why are you talking about this when I haven't said anything and I don't like this?
Right.
So my sister ended up coming to my room and reassuring me, like, we already knew. We don't like that he pretty much told us beforehand, but everything's good.
So how is it now with your family?
It's pretty much just all normal now.
Yeah. So they had a hard time with it to begin with?
So my parents are Haitian, so it's a full thing of, we don't get it,
right?
But you're happy and you're our son, so as long as you're happy, we don't really care,
well,
but we just don't get it.
That's good parents. I mean, that's just good parenting right there. You know, and I tell my kids that all the time. I might not understand the way that you live, but as long as you're not hurting yourself and somebody else and you're happy, I'm good with it. That's being accomplished, in my opinion.
Very much.
What do you do now to meet people? I mean, how often do you get together with the ONYX boys?
We have bar nights every 5th Friday, so we have that, but we also hang out as individuals. So we see each other's at bars, or we have group hangouts, family hangouts, so it's really just, I can see them anywhere between, as a whole big group, I can see them anywhere between like maybe 2-3 times a month. And actually last weekend we had a big outing where we all went to Busch Gardens.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that was pretty much
sounds
good
like fun.
It was fun until the next day where you're like, we were at Busch Gardens the whole entire day from open to close. My feet hurt.
Oh, I was going to say, yeah. See, for me, I'd be so sunburned. I wouldn't be able to walk for a week, you know. What are you passionate about?
Technically right now, I'm moving out of my parents' house. That's the most passionate thing in my life.
Yeah.
But pretty much just living my life to the fullest and being true to myself.
So what's your kinks?
That is a very long laundry list of kinks. But my
awesome.
top 5 would be a foot fetish, biting, bondage, markings, and electro.
Oh, you like electro.
I love electro.
That's just great.
I
It's
have
been a long
a lot
time.
of fun with electro.
I love fire, but electro is right behind that too.
Fire is on my list to try.
Oh, you haven't tried fire?
I've done cupping and I've done wax, but I haven't actually had like flame.
Oh man, it feels like a hot massage. It's amazing.
Yeah, I imagine it's because I ended up trying cupping while I was at IML and I loved it.
Really? So what's your favorite piece of leather? Your favorite piece of gear, I should say.
It has to be these claws. These are literally my favorite.
Tell us
there's
about this.
so much that I can do with them. So I got these claws a couple of months ago because I saw opportunity to use them for one of my kinks, which is markings, where basically I love marking people and leaving marks on them. And it's fun to go back on those marks and play with them afterwards, which is also why I love biting, because once I bite you, leave the hickey, then I can just run the claw across when your skin is sensitive. But these were bought a couple of months ago from a company named Red Falcon Products in Pennsylvania. Fully customized, they were about $125. And ever since, I've had tons of fun using them to scratch people. I actually used these in my demo back for DC Leather Pride, and they left rather beautiful scratch marks all over his body.
That's awesome. So do you bottom as well?
Yes. I mainly sub, there are just some things I switch in.
Yeah. So what if you met somebody and you were trying to get to know them, what would you want them to know about you? Because I mean, I can ask questions for another 3 hours, but what is it that you want people to know about you? Tell us about what you think and how you want people to perceive you.
I am a sarcastic little bastard with a somewhat dark sense of humor, and I also suffer from resting bitch face.
Girl, let me tell you something.
It's an epidemic that the government refuses to put funding into, and I feel we should write letters to our congressman to put funding into it.
I'm behind you on this one.
It's a national epidemic, it really is.
So I have enjoyed sitting here talking to you.
I enjoyed it
Can
too.
we do this more?
Very much so.
We need to
Anytime
do
you wanna
this.
hit
We
me.
need to do this often. We need to drink and talk.
Yes.
So,
Very much so.
but I thank you, and it was so good meeting
It was
you.
nice meeting you too.
Thank you.
Do you mind if I end up biting him at some point? Okay.